Hey guys, can you guys hear me? Just let me know if you can hear me, and I'm going to give it just another second. Okay, good. Glad you can hear me. Um, Rod, I don't know how to add a thumbnail on this, so I'll just have to go back and do it later. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started because I don't want you guys to have to sit here and wait. And if other people join, this will be recorded, so I'll just play it later, or you can just play it later. Okay, so first I wanted to discuss, I have a lot of things to discuss. So you guys just add the questions in whenever you can. Yeah, this is TG. That's what the thumbnail should be on here. If I knew how to change it, I would. I don't know how to fix it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. All I invited was my subscribers, so this isn't like for everyone in the world, so it doesn't really matter. Also, excuse my voice. I guess I'm gonna have a cold for the entire winter because it doesn't seem to be getting better. So anyway, okay, so let's discuss first red days. I know everyone is so scared of red days, and we've had obviously quite a few. And the other day we had a super red day, and everybody was really scared. I guess that was today Thursday? I guess it was Tuesday. Everybody was really scared and freaking out about it. And then yesterday we ran back up. So, people were like, should I go ahead and close things, roll things, take losses? And I'm just kind of like, let's wait till Thursday, maybe even Friday before we make any major decisions. So, and then of course, yesterday we ran up. So that was good. And now today we're back down. So this choppy price action and just choppy market in general is it's good for volatility and it's good for us option sellers, but I do understand it's a little scary, and I think this is how it's going to be for the rest of the year personally. People just don't like all the uncertainty that's going on with so many things, including the government shutdown, and we're going into a new year soon, and sorry, I'm reading comments. Yes, exactly. It is a good day for cash secured puts. And so, all of these things are causing a little bit of, I guess, panic or uncertainty. There's no real reason it's selling off. Like I've searched and searched and searched, and there's, this and there's that, and there's all these little small things for the sell off, but there's nothing like concrete that I'm looking at going, oh, this is the reason it's selling off, or this is the reason we should like exit the market, or we're about to go into a bear market. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that. We're still in a bull market. So it's just a matter of having patience and just being ready for the down days and then hoping that we have the green days. So while we're talking about that, I want to discuss a couple of things about the red and green days. Um, I am going to change my strategy a bit just because of the choppiness. And I've put it to my subscribers earlier today, and some of you may love this idea and some of you may not. So I'll go both ways, but I am going to go a little further out with my expiration dates and a little lower with my strikes. The last few times I've done this, it's been really, really successful. Back in September, we sold, we called it the Mary TSLL, and we sold a bunch of cash secured puts in December. So 3 month out deal. And we didn't have to wait 3 months at all. Actually, I just closed one this morning at 85%. I had closed a few others already before. But the downside to that is if we continue downward, your money will be tied up in those cash secured puts. You won't be able to exit without taking a loss. So if you have a small account, it will be harder to go out this time frame. But for me, I have a larger account, plus I use margin, which I'll get into that too. But with all of these things, with the margin and having a larger account, I can afford to use some of that money and go further out. So I placed some trades this morning that I shared with you guys. Let me go back over here. And actually, you guys could get better entries right now if anybody's interested. But I did, I only sold two March 20th TSLL cash secured puts. And they're a $14 cash secured put. They were paid, I was paid $191 each. So if assigned, I'll be around the $12 cost basis that I like. The downside is if we continue down, my money will be tied up until March. So that's why I only sold two contracts. And I will add to these contracts with like $10 increments. So if I can get 201 for a contract, I'll add one. And if I can get 211 for a contract, I'll add another. So I'm just going to take it slow because it's all the way out to March. And then I went ahead and opened 8 contracts of January, 1343 cash secured put. I know that sounds weird, the 1343, but that's because they will pay dividends between now and then, so it screws up the strikes a little bit, which no big deal. But I went ahead and changed my limit order to 95 and I was filled. So I got paid $95 on each one of those. So again, my cost basis will be, I don't know, 1248 each. 1248 cost basis. And again, I will add contracts to that, which will get my cost basis down. January sounds like it's far, but it's not. We're already in November. So we're talking a 2-month, 8-week deal here. So for me, it's totally worth it to put, $1,300 per contract, 1343 per contract to wait till January, 2 months. And this might sound a little greedy, but if we don't close before January, then we'll push those taxes out that we have to pay on these until 2026. So that's good too. I did pretty good this year, and my taxes are going to show it, I'm sure. So capital gains taxes are no fun. So if I could push that out to 2026, I would like to do that. And of course, I'll add contracts to that. I would love 20 contracts of this. So it may happen, it may not. So we'll see. Let me just see if you guys have anything to say about that. Right? Yes, exactly. Right out 3 months. And the problem with TSLL is that right now they've got January and then they've got March. So as soon as they start open in February, I'll grab some of that too. But yeah, so for now, I kind of went a little heavier. I mean, I wouldn't call it a heavy position, but a little heavier in that January position. I will close early. So the second thing I was going to say about this super choppy market is that I'm going to go a little further on my expiration date, but I'm also going to close sooner. So, usually I say I'll close at 80% plus profits. I might close at 50%. I mean, I'll just see how it goes. But if we run up quick enough, I'll go ahead and close at 50% and call it a day. Because as we see, it goes up and down so much. And if this continues, again, it's great. The volatility is great for us. But on the other hand, it can really screw us up if we're holding shares like MSTU right now. That's terrible. BMNR and BMNU are terrible. Bull, it's not terrible. I own 1,100 shares at $11 cost basis, and we were above 10 this morning. So it's not terrible. I mean, it looks bad. Like I'm down $1,400, but I have 1,100 shares. So really, I'm only down $1.30 per share. Not actually not terrible. It's just because I have a lot of shares. BBAI has dropped to 567. That's not good. Considering that we all have a bunch of $6 cash secured puts. Okay, so let's discuss BBAI. Hear me, my phone rang. Discussing BBAI falling below 6. I had a lot of people ask me, like, will you be assigned right away when it drops below 6? Will all of a sudden, it hits $6 or hits $5.95, and will you be assigned? No, big fat no. One, chances of early assignment are rare. It can happen, but it's rare, especially with BBAI. I find it happening more with leveraged ETFs. And I don't know if that's a fact, but that's just what I've experienced, especially if they've made a big move. Like MSTU, if you have a $4 cash secured put right now and we're down at 250 or whatever it's at, chances of being assigned are pretty high. But with BBAI being right still in our price range, you won't get it. You will not be assigned early. Plus, you have to deduct the amount of premium that you received when you sold the contract. So if you have a $6 cash secured put and you received $40, you don't have to worry about anything until it falls below, what is that, 560, because you received the $40 up front. So you're not going to be assigned. And if you are, you're going to be positive on your share price because you have to deduct that premium from your share price. So chances are slim that will happen. I mean, it could happen like overnight the night before, if it does fall that low, but I mean, chances are very slim. Plus, if you get assigned shares of BBAI under $6, you're going to do well. So that's not even a worry at all for me if I'm assigned more shares. I had a lot. I can't remember how many I had, but I had a lot of shares, and I sold some off at $8. I sold cash secured puts and had some called away, and now I'm down to 400 shares at a $6 cost basis, a little under $6. So I would not mind being assigned more shares, but in this choppy market, I will try to avoid it just because I don't want to be down on another position. Again, already down on BMNU and down on, I have some old CNOL shares. I've been down on those for a long time, and down obviously a lot on MSTU. So you do not have to worry about early assignment or being assigned shares at $6 as soon as it drops below $6. Also, a lot of people have asked, let's see, there was something else I was going to talk about with BBAI. Anyway, well, I'll just move on to the next. If I remember, I'll come back to it. So a lot of people have asked me about MSTU. Okay, so here's the deal. Obviously the market tanked. Obviously Bitcoin tanked. MSTR is going to be tied directly with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin falls further, MSTR will fall further, and MSTU will take a double hit because it's 2x leveraged. So obviously that's not a good thing for us holding cash secured puts or holding shares. So I'm going to tell you my game plan for the shares I currently hold. If any cash secured puts I have, I'm going to either close at a loss or I'm going to roll them out because I've got over 2,000 shares of MSTU right now. I'm way down on them and I don't want to mess around with it any further. I don't want any more. Now, I do think those shares will recover, and I think we'll be totally fine if we're willing to wait and just be patient. I just don't want more shares. I may here and there add a couple of just shares, not 100 share lots, but just a couple of shares here and there to try to get my cost basis down a little bit. But that's it. So there's two things that we have to talk about. One is a reverse split. If they have a reverse split, all that means is that, let's just say they have a 10-to-1 reverse split. That means each one of your 10 shares, you'll only have one share, but how can I put this? The cost basis will be the same. Like, I don't have the math in my head, but you'll still be down the same percentage as you're down now. Nothing changes. You don't lose money on the deal. So you don't have to worry about that. The downside is if I have 1,100 shares, that means I can sell 11 covered calls. If this hits a 10-to-1, I'll only have, however many shares, and would that be 100 shares maybe? I don't know. I'm doing the math off the top of my head. But regardless, I won't be able to sell as many covered calls. That's the downside to the whole thing. As far as your holding and your money goes, it will be exactly the same. I've gone through a lot of reverse splits, and it's not a big deal. When the stock runs up, it still runs up. Your percentage of gains Or if you're down, 20%, you'll still be down 20%. If you're up 50%, you'll still be up 50%. It's just the number will change of how many shares you own. So, it's not a big deal except for the covered call portion of it. The second thing I plan on doing is I'm going to sell covered calls below my average. And this is risky. So what I've done is, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. I own 1,100 shares. And if you are willing to take a bit of a loss on your shares, and it depends on what your cost basis is, obviously, I sold some MSTU $3 covered calls. No, I'm sorry. I don't own 1,100 shares. I own 2,100 shares, 2,100 shares at a $4.68 cost basis. So I'm down 50%. So I'm selling covered calls at a $3 cost basis. So how this works is it's under your average, unless you own shares under $3, then you're good to go. But if you're not, this morning I sold some 1114 $3 cash secured puts. Or was it the 21? Sorry, no, let me see. No, I'm sorry. It was the 21. I already had the 14. I sold 5 contracts and I received $10 per contract. Now, how this works is, as long as MSTU stays below $3, I will make $50 because I received $10 per contract. Now, if MSTU runs up, I will sell a couple more contracts. Again, I've got 2,100 shares, so I've got some wiggle room. If you've only got 500 shares or less, you might could sell one contract at a time. I wouldn't go all in because you're going to need some room to move here. And I mean, I can totally help you guys with this. So this is not something that's normally recommended, but the fact that I don't see MSTU making some kind of major run in the near future, I think we're going to be holding this for a little while. I'm willing to take the risk on this. So with my $3 covered calls, I received a $10 credit for each one. As long as we stay below $3.10, because I received that $10 credit, I'll at least be at break even. If we stay below $3, I will make $50 profit. If we happen to run up to like $3.20, $3.50, $4, or we keep running up, I will be in a negative position on these covered calls. So again, this is a risk that you could lose money. Now I will let a few of these go at $3 and just take the loss on the shares if I need to, only because I have so many shares. But this is how I'm going to play it for a little while. And as I take these profits, so as I close this out, if I make $50, I'm not going to consider this $50 profit. I'm going to take $50 off my share price. I'm going to take it out of, I'm going to just recalculate. And so my cost basis won't be $468 anymore. I'm going to use that $50 to try to get my cost basis down. And I'm going to continue doing this. So I've got 4 $3 cash secured puts expiring tomorrow. I've got 5 expiring on the 14th, and I've got 5 expiring on the 24th. I'm sorry, the 21st. So I can help you guys with this. You just let me know how many shares you own and what your cost basis is, and we can go from there. We can make money on this stock while we're waiting for it to move. We just have to do it carefully, and it will move. I promise you guys, one day MSTR is going to get some news. Somebody's going to come out and say something. Bitcoin's going to run up and this thing's going to run. And you don't want to be stuck in a bunch of $3 covered calls that you're going to screw yourself in. So again, just take a couple at a time because this will not be down forever. I promise you that. 10X, you might know him from the chat. And I, months ago, before I even had a subscription, I was trying to teach him how to sell cash secured puts. And so we sold SOXL, which is 3X leveraged. And AMD was its largest holding at the time. And then NVIDIA and Broadcom, it had a bunch of others, but AMD was its largest holding. And AMD bull at the time, and still am. I was like, okay, let's go in. And we got assigned shares around $30. I ended up with more than him, so I don't remember exactly what his cost basis was, but mine was about 30. And April came along. Now this is 3x leverage, so it moves fast. April came along, and we had that huge dip due to the tariff news, and it dropped to $7. I had a lot of shares. He had 100 shares. I mean, there was nothing you could do. So all we could do was just look at our loss. I was down $11,000. $11,000. I mean, that's hard to look at. I was like, oh my God, this thing may never recover. I can't sell covered calls with it. There's nothing I can do but wait. And then from $7, it ran up to 50. So you just can't look at something that's happening right now and say, oh, well, this stock is dead. Because at the time, that's what I was thinking. I owned 100 shares of AMD. There was a lot going on with AMD. And I was just like, and then the market overall tanked. And, I was like, oh, AMD is dead. AMD is just dead, which means that SOXL is dead. And you just can't do that. If it's a good company, it's going to make a comeback. And when it does, if you're in a leveraged play, it's going to go hard. So just be ready. Don't be greedy. Don't be impatient, because being impatient is what the big dogs rely on. They're waiting for us to be impatient and do stupid things so that then they can run it back up. So just be prepared and be ready. And if you go out and look on X and you look at TJ and you look at Scott and you look at so many people, they're trading MSTR, they're trading Bitcoin, they're trading Bitcoin stocks, they're trading in BMNR. It's not, they're not dead, they're just down. So wait it out, let's be patient, and we'll be good, I promise. And in the meantime, we'll make a little money with covered calls and try to get those try to get the cost basis down. And yes, Mark, we could keep rolling them out. If we sell those $3 cash secured covered calls, and we do go over $3, we can just roll them out. So we can keep making money on this stock. This is the wheel strategy. It doesn't always go in our favor every single time like it did with TSLL and AMD. Like, we hit the jackpot with those. And I do think they are better trades than MSTU or BMNR, because I believe in the companies more than, I do believe in Bitcoin, but it's so speculative that I'm still on the side of TSLL and AMDL personally. Although I do religiously invest in Bitcoin. Okay, so we've talked about the red days, early assignments rare, MSTU selling covered calls. Again, just DM me or ask me in the chat, and let's discuss how to do this, because I do want you guys on board with this. We need to be making a little money with these shares while we're holding them. If you are holding cash secured puts, DM me and let's figure out how to roll them out. Because if you don't want the shares, it's better to just go ahead and roll it out, not get stuck with more shares. Although, again, I am bullish, so I'm not saying that, but I am saying I think there are better plays right now, especially on these red days. Okay, so next thing is margin. I've gone over this a few times, but if you are in any of these platforms that offer you margin, it is a good tool, especially for selling puts. But if you are assigned shares, you do have to be careful, because you will start getting charged interest on this margin loan. It's a loan like anything else. So you just have to be very careful with it. The amount that I use, I could cover. So let's just say a bunch of it went to BMNU, because I'm way down on my BMNU shares, like way down. If I was using margin for those and I'm going to start getting charged interest, I will then cover it with my own money. I'll pull money out of my savings account that I have separate and cover it. So that's what I would do with that. Okay, so BBAI has earnings. Let's see. A couple of you have asked me, like, what are we going to do if it drops? What are we going to do if it goes up? But here's the deal. It's a $6 stock. So let's just say it ran 10%, which is highly unlikely that it'll run that much. It is a popular stock for trading, but it's just not the biggest, stock that's going to make some kind of massive move on earnings. But let's just say it did. Let's say it made a big 10% move. That's only like a 60-cent move, like 60-cent move. So right now we're at 5.60. That drop it to $5. That's still not like way out of our league or out of our price range. So we don't have to worry too much about earnings. If it runs back up, we'll just be right there above the 6 again. So either way, I'm not too concerned with it at all, like I am with some of the big names that are high cost. Tesla, if it ran or dropped 10%, you're talking $40. That's a lot. Versus this one that would, move 60 cents. So I'm not going to panic or worry too much about BBAI earnings, but I do want to take advantage of the high IV that earnings gives us so we can collect more premium on it. And again, getting assigned under 6, even if it dropped to 5, still a good deal. So, I just got a notification. The NASDAQ fell nearly 2% today. Wow, that's huge. So, okay. So I've discussed the long dated cash secured puts that I'm looking at with TSLL, maybe even AMDL. I'm going to look at a couple of those today too. I'm still in one. I've got a March $13 cash secured put. I got paid $450 on it, and I'm up 65%, which is $294. I may just go ahead and close that, or I may hold a little longer. It's only one. But think about that. Like, you go out to March and you can receive like $300 or $400. To me, it's going to be safer and it's going to be better. And the second that AMDL goes up in price, you can go ahead and take profits. So it's a good idea. And I'm definitely going to try it. I also am practicing one other thing. I did not post it for you guys because I didn't want anybody else to jump in with me because I'm just practicing. But I sold a March, this was, when did I sell this? I sold this like a month ago. A March 20th, $19 TSLL cash secure put. It paid me $515. So if I were to be assigned, my average would be low, but if we make a big run, if I can collect 50% on that, that'd be over $250. I'd just go ahead and close it. So I'm gonna start trying some of these. I also did one more. Let me see what it was. January 15th, 2027. So you're talking a year, 14 months out. I sold a 1670 cash secured put and got paid $700 on it. I'm up 3%, which is $44. So, I mean, I could close it right now and take $44 if I wanted to. But I'm not. I'm going to wait for the next pump up and see if I can make a couple $100 off of it. But I could wait, the longer I wait, if it goes up, the more money I'll make. But again, I could also be stuck holding that for another year, and then they would have my collateral tied up for another year. So that's not great. So I'll probably take some profits on that. Do you guys have any questions on the things that are already discussed? If so, just let me know, and then I'll move on to the next topic of something that I tried. I'm gonna look over in the chat and see if you guys ask me anything. I don't know what Trump said. I know he was talking about, the weight loss drugs, but okay, Rod, I'm going to send you the link. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. I can't remember. Oh, invite guests, copy. Okay, Rod's going to join us. Hopefully, I'll send him the link. Okay, the next thing that I tried, and this was not my idea. If any of you heard of Spaces that I was on last week, you heard this someone else talk about this, and I was like, oh, I kind of like the sound of that. It's semi-risky, but I thought I'd try it this week and it worked very well. He owns shares of TSLL, as do I. I still own my 800 shares. He sells at the money covered calls on green days. Now at the money means it's right there. Like, let me get over and see what we're at right now. So let's say you had TSLL, and at the money covered call would be a $20 or a $19.50, either one, right there. A $20 or $19.50 covered call. So it's at the money covered call the same week. Now let me explain how this works. First of all, I own shares at $12 a share, so it's zero risk to me. If I lost 100 shares, I lost 100 shares, whatever. I'd still make a decent chunk of money. So the other day I sold, and I didn't tell you guys because these things I'm testing out, I don't want you guys to jump in with me. I sold a 2150 covered call. Now, at the time, that was an at the money covered call because it was a green day and we were higher. I think we were at $21 a share, or even more maybe. I sold that I got paid $150. So what we're betting is, A, we stay, I'm confusing myself, that we drop below 2150. If we drop below 2150, and close that way tomorrow, I will profit $150. If it runs up above 2150, I still collected $150. So I am still good until it hits 23. Now at $23 is where I would start going into the negatives. So, or I would sell my shares. And again, $12 cost basis, I'd make $1,100 on the trade. So either way was completely fine with me. My TSLL shares are in a position where I can do that. Now that we've dropped below 2150, if we stay below 2150 tomorrow, I will profit $150. So I am going to start doing this a little more often because it's a way to make quite a bit more premium. I was always scared to do it before because I didn't really want to lose my shares. At this point, with this choppy market, I feel like we, not saying we will, but we could drop back down, and I don't want to lose, big profits on my shares here. So making 150 is great. If I sold them at 23, that's great. So either way, it was completely a win-win for me. So I'm going to test that out again. But again, you have to do it on a green day. Like a lot of times you can sell covered calls on a red day. It doesn't matter. Like if I wanted to sell a $26 covered call for next week and we have a red day, I can still do that. It's not going to make a difference. I mean, you collect more premium on green days, but regardless, if I don't mind selling my shares at 28, it doesn't really matter. Versus this one, you're right at the money. So you do have to do it on a green day. You have to, like, you can't do it on a red day. It won't work. Okay. So then we discussed my long dated cash ticket puts. Rod, are you on? I invited him, but I don't know if he's on. Let me go check over here. Okay. I just sent him a DM. Because I don't know how to really work StreamYard. So I don't know if he just randomly pops on or if I have to do something. So anyway. Okay, so let's talk about, another person asked me why I prefer selling options over spreads, opening spreads. Okay, so spreads, while they are good as far as small accounts or using less capital, like you can buy a call and sell a call without owning the shares because you bought a call. So if you know spreads, you already know how this works. You can buy a put and then you can sell a put, and you don't have to have the collateral to sell the put because you bought a put. So it helps with collateral. The thing I don't like about it though is you can lose money. Like if it doesn't go your way and the contracts are up for expiration, or you see a major move and you want to close it early, you lose money just off the table. That's it. The money's gone. Versus selling a cash secured put, if you're selling it on a stock you really don't mind owning, like TSLL, I would rather be assigned the shares if it drops than lose money if it drops, if that makes sense. So if I have a, I don't know, $20 cash secured put and TSLL drops to 18, I'd rather just be assigned the shares at 18 or have the option to roll it out. Versus being caught up in a spread where I'm losing money on one side, making money on the other side, and I can end up in a losing trade where I actually physically lose money, not just being assigned shares. But that's also because I have a larger account, and it's also because I use margin. So, to each their own. If you have a smaller account, and that's the only way you can sell cash secured puts is by opening a spread, then do it by all means. It's not a bad way to trade. So, there's that. Okay, so really the last thing I kind of want to discuss is, and I am in no way saying that we're going into a bear market. Let me just start with that. But this choppiness and up and down movement and, major red days followed by a small green day, this is exactly what I saw 2021 going into 2022. And it is not pretty. And if you guys were trading then, or even just investing, it was a rough time. I mean, I had clients that were wanting to retire and they couldn't because their 401ks and their stock investments were down so much they just literally could not retire and pull the money out. But for the most part, if you're younger and you're not looking to retire in the next 5 years, it doesn't matter if we go into a bear market or just a significant pullback because you can average down and then wait it out. But for traders, it hurt because all of our money was tied up. So all the money that I had available for trading, including margin, was tied up for like a year, maybe even longer than a year. So it was a tough time. So I'm not saying that 2026 that's going to happen, but I just want you guys to really be on the lookout. Don't go too heavy with your position sizing, and also keep money on the sidelines. I cannot stress enough how important it is to keep money on the sidelines. Because let's just say TSLL dropped back to, I don't know, $8. Okay. And don't think it can't. It absolutely can. Drops back to $8. We can still trade it. There's no reason we can't still trade it. And we can sell cash secured puts at $8. I mean, that would be amazing. The problem is if you don't have any money to trade it, then you don't have any money and you're just going to be sitting there on the sidelines until we recover. We will recover. I mean, you saw it went through 2022, a little bit of 2023, and then it started running up and it's gone straight up for 2 years. So it will recover, but do you really want to be sitting on the sidelines for a year waiting? It's no fun, and it hurts. So you definitely don't want to get stuck in that situation. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here. Okay, yeah, the president's talking about prescription medications and all of that, and how Tylenol is not good for pregnant women. Okay, I took Tylenol when I was pregnant. My kids are fine, but hey, I guess some people don't take it in small doses. So, all right, Matt, let's see. Do you care to share with us a general idea of your age? Asking to see long-term goals for you if you plan on trading with us for many. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, 40s, and yes, I will be trading for a long, long, long time. I mean, a long time. But I have big plans. I mean, the money that I make in my portfolio, I keep in my portfolio, so I have more money to trade. And my ultimate goal is I own a salon and I do hair. But and I love doing hair, but I mean it's a tough job. I mean, I know people just think, oh, you just gossip and talk and play with hair. That is so far from the truth. You are on your feet all day. at the end of the day, my hands are literally stiff. Like I do a lot of highlights and hair color. I do women's hair, a lot of highlights and hair color, of course, haircuts, and the blow drying your back, shoulders, and neck, especially clients that have thick, long hair, like it kills my body. And on top of that, it kills me mentally as well because people unload their entire lives on you. I posted something yesterday that was funny, about my client finding her husband's iPad and whatever. And that's cute and that's funny. And she was laughing about it. We're all laughing about it. And it was no big deal. But that's not what I hear every day. And most of the time it's, my daughter has cancer. My husband just got diagnosed with dementia at 65. Or, I mean, the terrible, terrible things that I hear and people are just unloading it on me every day. It really starts to get to you a little bit. And so my ultimate goal is to at some point start giving some of my clients to my younger girls in the salon. I have a fully staffed salon, so there's plenty of space for some of the other girls to do some of my clients. So I will work less, but still own the salon and then trade on the side. And hopefully this YouTube thing will get going and I can get a lot of subscribers on X, and then I can really just focus on it and just really have a good time with it because I really, really do want this to be like my future. My kid, years ago, it was like I was all about building a clientele, building a hair salon. I've owned the hair salon now for 15 years. Building a hair salon and raising kids. And now my clientele is full. My salon is full of stylists, and my kids, they can take care of themselves. I don't have to, bathe them and give them bottles or anything anymore. So, I'm in a good place where I can now do this and I enjoy it and I love it. So yes, this is a long-term, long-term plan. Hopefully just doing this forever. I love it. Okay, so being new, sometimes I think the stock is going to zero after I get a CME. Have you ever experienced that when first starting out? Like the fear or a stock going to zero? I've never experienced a stock going to zero, no, but I have experienced the fear. Absolutely, yes. You will get past that. But that is definitely a thing for new traders. Let me explain. When I started selling options in 2021 in a bull market and also buying leaps in a bull market, and then 2022 hit, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all. I was just watching my money wither away. I lost over $20,000 on those leaps that I'll never get back. That money is dead and gone. I was assigned a bunch of shares from selling puts. And I thought, this market's never going to recover. My portfolio is dead in the water. What am I going to do? I was just down so much money. But I was newish to trading. I knew about investing and I knew stocks and stuff, but I new to trading, and I was so scared. And so, yeah, I just couldn't sleep at night knowing that all my money was wrapped up and I'm going to be working the rest of my life to make up all this money. But you know what? In 2023, I saw what happened. All my stocks ran back up. I sold way too early out of fear. And then I started selling cash secured puts again. I made all that money back, all of it, and then some. Easy breezy. Like within a year, I'd made every single dime up that I was down and that I lost by selling puts. I no longer buy leaps. I might buy one here and there messing around, but no going heavy in leaps ever again. I really don't even like buying options at all. The seller has the advantage. So yeah, the fear is there. You know what though? Once you go through it one good time like I did, the fear's gone because I'm in good names. So I believe in Tesla. I believe in BBAI. I believe in MicroStrategy. I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in AMD. All of the things that I'm in, if they are down right now, that's okay. They'll come back. If we go into a bear market, I'm going to hate seeing my portfolio. I'll probably shut it down and just not look at it and open a separate account for trading. But because I'm in things that I believe in, I won't have that stress because I know long term the market will recover and go back up and we'll be fine. So that helps me sleep at night versus trying to chase high IV, which I've done before. Getting assigned shares of AMC, GameStop, now open, speculative plays. If you're in those and the market tanks, they may never recover. So you do have to, keep that in mind with the stocks that you're trading, especially right now while we're a little bit shaky. Do I get it wrong that talking is not required during appointments, yet everyone feels they somehow have to? I would be perfectly fine without talking, but then the stylist always wants to start. Okay, a stylist starts a conversation because they're trying to be cordial, not because I really want to hear about every detail of your child's soccer game. I don't want to hear it. But I'll ask because I'm trying to be cordial. So some of my clients, I really do appreciate when I'm like, so how's your daughter's cheer going? And they say, oh, it's going great. And she's doing great. And the cheer season ends in May, the end. I don't need to hear an hour of her cheer competition. Like it's just, so no, I prefer it. I have one client that she works in an industry where she has to talk a lot. So when she comes in, she's like, do you mind if we don't talk? And I'm like, oh, yes, please. Like, I don't want to do it either. And she spends 2 hours with me and we say our hellos and we don't speak again until it's over. And I am so happy and so is she. So she sits there and plays on her phone. I do my job. I love her and we just move on. That's it. But yeah, there are some stylists. I work with a girl that doesn't ever stop talking. So I feel bad for her clients because she'll talk them to death. So it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with and how your stylist is. But you can always tell your stylist, just say, I'm just really tired. So I'm not going to talk today. And she won't say, okay, good, but she will appreciate it. It doesn't sound rude at all. Okay, the professional talker, she prefers quiet and calm. Yeah, me too. I would just rather not. But if people want to talk, I have to listen. That's part of the job. I can't tell them to shut up, even though I want to sometimes. Okay, so anything else anybody needs to ask me? Need advice? I have $28 cash secured put. I mean, November 28th cash secured put for $450. Sure, it's December or March. Wealth stack. I need to know how much you got paid for that and how many. I think it looks like you may only have one. Yeah, tell me how many contracts you have and what you were paid on that 450 MSTU. Okay, let me just see if Rod has joined. I don't even know how to look. Okay. Matt, did I answer your question correctly? Because if I did, that's good. Mark, try the ladder system, one position written for multiple consecutive weeks. As one expires, out, I usually go for, yeah, I like that. Totally like that. And the one that actually, I don't even know if I got filled. I tried to close that. No, I didn't even get filled. I tried to close the $12 puts that I have in December, and then I'll take that money and put that in the January one cash secure puts, and then when I close those out, go to the next, and hopefully that those March expiration dates will be opening up soon as well. It looks like we have some December expiration dates. December 26th opened up. I don't know if it's got any volume, but let's see. Let's just see if it's got any volume. Open interest is 0. Yeah, so I'll start looking at the December 26th expiration dates too and see if any of those start getting a little, start getting some open interest. Yeah, that would be good. The December 26th, that'll be our next Christmas trade if we can start getting into some of that. But going into next year, y'all, I think is really going to be our bread and butter here. Just going into next year and then closing them early. I really have a good feeling about that with this choppiness. Every time we see a red day, we can just kind of add contracts to further out expirations. And when we see a green day, we go ahead and close it. I don't know if guys know who Scott is. Like, he's my idol. Like when I get to be his age and and have his account size, I would love to do what he does. He closes his out at 30% a lot of times. Maybe not always, but for the most part, his cash secured puts, he just closes them out at 30%, but he's trading with a lot of money. So if you have one contract and you close it out at 30%, you're not going to make anything. If you have 100 contracts and you close it out at 30%, you're making bank on those. So that he's, larger accounts, obviously, percentage wise, you're making more. So he closes his out at 30%. So just think about that. If we start going further out with expirations and close them out at 30% when we have a green day, we'll be consistently making money, like just constant gains. Green day, red day, green day, red day, just going back and forth if we continue with this choppiness. Which in my opinion, we're going to continue with the choppiness because this is just happening too much. Like, a couple of weeks ago, we had that horrible red day. 2 days ago, a horrible red day. Now today, a horrible red day. So, in my opinion, we're just going to continue with the choppy. I wouldn't be surprised if we're super green tomorrow and then we'll have to see next week. I am hoping that we can get back up above $6 for BBAI tomorrow. I've got some cash secured puts expiring, and I think you guys do as well. So, but if we don't, I'm going to let mine get assigned. So, we'll just have to play it by ear from there. Yeah, you did. Thank you. Love the group we have in the chat. It's always good to find people. Yeah, I know. Like that's the reason I opened my subscription service. Like, it was $2 a month, which is nothing. Like people were like, why are you even charging? And I said, because $2 a month is more than haters want to pay to come in and tell me how stupid I am and how wrong I am and how stupid you guys are and how we're doing it all wrong. People don't want to pay to do that. So, but then I found out that X or Apple, whoever, takes 30% of that. So I was like, okay, that's why I moved it up to $4. And of course, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not trying to replace my income with with an X subscription. It does help though. It helps just keep certain people out and keep us in. And I mean, I think we've got such a good group and everybody's so helpful. And I love the fact that we're kind of all over the place. We've got some people that are experienced and they can throw their trades out there. We can all listen, we can all ask questions. And then we've got some people that are brand new and they've got so many questions and I can answer and you guys can answer because there's so many different answers to one question. There's not one size fits all. Somebody might say, should I roll out this contract? Well, you can give 3 different answers to that question and none of them are wrong. It's just a matter of perspective, point of view, account size, risk tolerance. There's so many different things that go into answering one question. So for me, I love our group and literally have a waiting list of people trying to get into our chat. So that's fun. I love it. Okay, let me see if Rod I guess Rod must have left because he's not answering me. He's at work and he was just trying to jump in for a little bit. So I guess that's really all we need to talk about unless anybody has another question for me, whether it be about a trade that we're in, a future trade, anything personal about me or my job. I don't mind answering it all because it is fun. I might actually do a spaces about being a hairstylist. I think a lot of people would actually think that's kind of fun just to hear the other side of, when you go get your hair done, what we're actually thinking. And then somebody told me I should have a separate YouTube where I tell my client stories. And boy, do I have some client stories. But I still have these clients, so it'd be kind of risky if they found out. So I might just wait till I retire and then start a whole YouTube with client stories. Because I was thinking about writing a book because some of the stuff I've heard y'all wouldn't believe. Okay, well, we're almost at the hour mark. So unless anybody has anything else to say or has any questions, I'm going to go over to our chat again and see if there's anything. No, I don't see anything. Anybody else have anything here? Don't be shy. Just ask away, and I'll be more than happy to answer. So, okay. Well, I guess that's it. So, you guys have a good day. And real quick before we get off, I'm just going to see where everything's at. Okay, so TSLL is running back up. So we're above 20 again. That's good. The market is running up slightly. SPY is moving back up. It dropped twice today, down below 670. Now we're back at 671. That's good. Yeah, it looks like things are trying to rebound some. So if you wanted to get into any cash secured puts today, I would go ahead and jump in now. Again, starter position. So what we need bull above 10 by tomorrow. We're at 980. I don't know if any of you are playing open earnings. Open Door has earnings today. RCAT is at 880. That's amazing. So if you're looking to sell some cash secured puts on RCAT, now would be the time. Or if you want to average down on some current positions with that, now would be a great time, because if the market recovers, that's going to run back up above 10. MSTU is trying to make a move. It's at 237, which is terrible, but it's still better than it was earlier. AMDL is back to 2090. SOXL is moving up. MSTR is moving up. BBAI is at 570. So we need a little 30-cent move back up by tomorrow, or at least close to it, so we can exit our positions and be okay, make a little profit. You're welcome, Matt, and thank you too. Thank you for being an awesome part of it, this whole community. And Mark, Charming Castillo, yes, exactly. Like when you're the seller, you're the casino dealer. You're not sitting at the table. You're the owner of the casino. You're the seller. So you, just like anything else, you have the advantage. If you go to Walmart to buy stuff or Target to buy stuff, they have the upper hand. They are telling you what you're going to pay, and you're going to pay on the way out. So Bitcoin is back above 101. So, okay. So we might recover. We might see a green day tomorrow. So if it's anything like it has been lately, red, green, we may pull off a nice green into the week tomorrow. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to get going. Thank you guys for joining. This is recorded if anybody wants to rewatch it or re-listen to it. And then, of course, all the people that couldn't join can listen to it later. So thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys for being a part of my community. And I'll be over in the chat. Bye.